Everyone, Deadly Dynamic Duo here. I'm back with another video of Mass Effect Andromeda. This is this part 4. I actually realized I didn't complete really any of the other missions. Because when I go to my journal and I go to completed missions, it's this the ones I did complete in part 1. And the one that we are doing right now is the AVP Cryo Deployment Perks. That says Andromeda viability points leads to perks that directly empower your efforts. Because as a Pathfinder, you choose what is important to life in Helios, speak to Director Addison and her assistants about AVP, and decide what experts will shape and strengthen your initiative. So I have to speak with her on Indexes. I ended up choosing the military outpost because I think I always go for the scientific one. I chose the military one since there's a lot of Ket there, and just to be different, I guess. A better beginning is one that we have been doing since basically 2. So this is a continuation of that. So I did not at all write it down as a mission in part 2 or part 3 because I've only been putting the missions completed, and that's only been in the first one because I want to put it where so you know what missions are completed. Which I know is kind of weird given that you're like, well, you're putting this as a gameplay, but it's like I'm not doing the mission parts because every mission is so long, and I'm like, that would be way too many videos. And some of the missions coincide with other missions, like you be doing something completely different, and then you find something for another mission, like, oh, well, that's cool. Anyway, I just talked to Bay, and he wants to, change up, get himself together, and everything. So he's gonna try harder to find himself a job because he hasn't been working for 2 years, and that's not like him. And I think he kind of just was in a depression because that has happened to people, and I think it happened after he lost his job over some bullshit. And like, I can understand that, and I'm all for supporting him, and I do hope that he finds a job. I hope he gets his life together, gets it on track and do what he has to do so that he's happy. I hope that I stay part of his life, and this will probably sound really weird. Well, not weird. That's not the term, probably. I'm just gonna prepare myself so that it may or may not happen. The reason is from what I've noticed from anybody that I've known in my life. Every time people, like, I want people to do good, 100%, but I don't. But at some points, for some reason, they decide when they have to do better that they don't want me part of their life, which I understand. So I also don't want him to ever think he has to take care of me. So, like, that's one thing. Like, if you feel like you can't really fuck with me anymore, then do do what you have to do. Like, I've always been more about wanting people to do better for themselves and then fucking my emotions. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I'm just saying a whole lot, and he'll probably listen to this video and think that there's something fucking wrong with me and that I'm a fucking bitch. But it's more that I always feel like when people realize that their life isn't where they want it, for some reason they realize once they start getting their life on track that they don't have room for me in it. And that is mostly because I have nothing to offer, and I never felt like I had anything to offer. And it's probably part of just my depression because I'm probably just used to being abandoned and it might not actually happen. I mean, because so far he's been proving that he's not like any guy I've ever been with. Is this part of that mentality where you still feel like, okay, well, maybe something's gonna happen, you know? Which is dumb that I'm confessing everything in a fucking video on my channel. But chances are he's not really gonna look at it because he's mostly only looks at the videos where me and him streaming. He barely watches the ones without him. The only time he did is when I asked him if he could like the video of The Sims for a house that I built. And I know I'm dumb for crying. It's just that I have a lot of emotions, and even before he told me everything, I've always felt like everyone kind of like is done with me anyway. And again, I think that's just my depression. But I fight my depression and I try to hide it and I try to act like I'm perfectly okay. And all I'm going to do is say I hope that he finds the job. I hope he gets what he needs to get taken care of, and I'm just going to be positive for him. I'm not going to say anything of my thoughts, because I never do. Only time I talk about anything is mostly dealing with him here, but I don't tell him half the shit that I ever fucking think about. Because I want to do that to him, you know? Anyways, so that's the priority ops. This is ally missions. The missing arcs we're gonna also do eventually. This is just different things. Okay, we're gonna do these missions for eventually. So when we get to the Nexus, I'm gonna go to the Nexus first, and then we're gonna go back. Because I think we would have to come back to EOS anyway, so I'm just gonna end up doing that. We're gonna go to skills. Okay, I have no skill points. Okay. But I put some in biotics and tech. That's how I ended up getting the profile of the Sentinel. I also did put a skill in combat. I put one for my shotgun right now. Because we're going to be using the shotguns mostly for her. And then I think if I get like... I mean, I pretty much am going to follow the guide on how to build her up. I think like every now and again, I'm not going to go totally across to put all the points in that build. I think I'm going to backtrack and try to make sure that I put up the other areas as well, because we have to do charge, which is here in biotics, so it'll be charge. So we got quite a bit of them. So it's like this. The first one, you know, is the one that you get actually if you pick the scrapper in the beginning. That's why I chose it. So pretty much we just dive into the enemy. So it says alter the biotics mass launching the user at an opponent restores some shield strength at the charge's end. Charge detonates combo primers on targets. Our damage is 275. The first to 500. The recharge time is 8. Shields restored are 50%. 2 is recharge speed, so it's 35% recharge speed. Rank 3 is damage in first, which is plus 25 damage, plus 25% first. The other one is rank 4, which is plus 35% damage and 35% first. Then we have power synergy, which enhances all powers for 5 seconds after charging. It does power damage bonus 25% and power first bonus 25%. Then our last one is actually going to be the shock trooper, which RB plus 75% recharge speed. The other one he showed was also Shockwave, but and it was Fudge and Muppets video, and he also said that it can be between Shockwave and Charge, or whichever one you want to do. But I kind of do like Charge. I will not be doing Shockwave until maybe later, I guess. The other things I would have to do is Barrier, Offensive Biotics, and Containment. So, Barrier will be where we can obviously put up a barrier. So, we're gonna do this one next. And these are our passives. So, we're gonna do this, this, and this. And then for attack, it's Energy Drain. It'll also be Team Support. Also need Offensive Tech and Auxiliary systems. And then once we do that is when we go to combat, and then we put our things in shotguns and combat fitness, then combat tools. And if I do get any more points after I do all of this, because I'm sure I have to be like high ass levels, because I'm only a level 6 now, I will be putting extra stuff into my pistol, because our pistol is our secondary weapon. So it's like, why wouldn't I want to put something into my secondary weapon? You know? Okay. So let's go and do this mission. Alright, leave from here.
I'm picking up something. Probes launched. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
See what's on that asteroid. Hey, well, we got some iron. Good. Yes, Pele. These are all different places. Then now we're gonna go back to... Where's the Nexus? The Nexus is here. Like how at least it's not like in Mass Effect 2 and 3, I think, where we have to actually drive the spaceship and then have to make sure that you have gas, because that always pisses me off.
Territory. The Nexus has been here for months. Still not enough time to survey it all. Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe. I found something.
Element 0. Oh, I need this. I only got 39 of you, but hey, I needed you. Alright. We go here. The Darking Bay. There we go. Yes. Also spent my money on buying the Piranha too, which honestly I could have researched and could have just waited, but I didn't.
Pathfinder, is it true? We're settling Eos.
We've thought that before.
But Eos is different now, right? Pathfinder.
Alright, settle down. Give him space. Lieutenant Syax, Kendros' aide. They all wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
Relax, Lieutenant. If there was ever a day to pop some champagne...
Certainly. The initiative's finally back on track.
This is Hirik, one of the scientists from the tech lab.
What you achieved with that remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible.
With more military personnel out of stasis, those Ket won't get near your vault. Or our people.
August Bradley will oversee that. He's the new mayor.
Bradley. I know him. Seems like a good man.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you, Ryder.
It's good that everyone's excited for that. Let's go here to operations.
Construction and repairs continue on various parts of the Nexus. Authorities have no word on completion and remind visitors to avoid affected areas. This is HNS.
We got that as the peers, so. Here.
No, it isn't what we wanted, but what choice do we have? You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more security, like you chose at Prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
Hello, Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Brecker, C-63 Galati. Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
You're kidding?
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow.
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, a lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs. And eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
Alright, Brecca. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster.
Scientific pause. Selected for their years of field experience in ingenuity under pressure, these scientists' expertise can quickly improve the initiative's research and resource gathering. Military pause. Military veterans from across the Milky Way have brought their expertise to Andromeda, including advanced combat training and wilderness survival skills. Commerce pause. Trade is the livelihood of civilization. These talented merchants and entrepreneurs can use their connections to acquire rare items, grow financial investments, or improve inventory management. Let's see. Friends in the Nexus militia make sure the Pathfinder crew is always well equipped. Receive a drop of consumable supplies. Okay. Hunting parties. Expert companions seek out Helios wildlife to learn the best strategies to survive encounters. Special forces is highly trained squads venture into kits territory to test their defenses. Reconnaissance is Nexus engineers attach long-range sensors and monitoring systems to initiative forward stations. The Apex tactics is Apex adds new tactics to their repertoire. The commerce is financial infrastructure is economic planners by the lay the infrastructure for a robust financial system that would benefit the outpost. I earn credits from investments at regular intervals. The gray market connections is allies ensure initiative representatives enter negotiation with a stronger position, improve prices when buying and selling items. The trade capacity is I can increase inventory capacity. Okay. Scientific is lab technicians helps the Nexus scientist team and not analyze Celia's data with increased efficiency. We earn research points at regular intervals. Mining operation, basically, we receive a selection of minerals at regular intervals. Okay. I think we're gonna go with this. First, so that way we'll get that. Okay. Because we needed that actually. So we did it. So we completed that. Woohoo! Completed that. Okay. So now we're gonna go to our journal. Additional attacks. Getting to know the Nexus, speak with the scientists. We are gonna do this one. Which is... There we go.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director
Down.
of your status. Residents are still mourning the loss of Chief Garson.
Which is what, down again? Okay, this way.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythia system has discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling a vault. Though not much yet is known about the underground structure, it's believed to be remnant in origin. Noted Asari scientist, Helisaria Basale.
What we activated in the vault drastically improved the atmosphere on Eos.
This is HNS.
underground construction a millennium ago. These remnant fellows probably have a...
Ah, Pathfinder. The information you gathered is marvelous. You and your Sam, of course.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Hirik. My colleagues and I work directly with Sam, refining your field scans into discoveries to benefit the initiative. Hopefully.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop, or lab, you know.
You are always welcome.
Indeed. It's thanks to your sterling data gathering that we were able to wrangle this space from Addison.
Keep up the good work, champ.
Yay. Ow. Let's see what's here. Research center. Research. Weapons. Let's see what we need. So this is the one that I want to get the pistol, but we need 150 for it. And for... Oh, that is nice. I actually would get that. I want to see that. The Black Widow sniper. I don't use a sniper, but that's so nice. The Venom shotgun. We're using the Piranha shotgun. So we actually... Do I have the Piranha shotgun? I think. Right? I don't remember. I think this so far is the best one. We're gonna rename it. I don't know why I'm naming it that. Okay, so did this journal. Let's talk to her now. So she's also should be on the Nexus. Oh, that can't go out that way. Operations.
A worker was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus hull. The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS.
Okay, this.
All power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
Pathfinder, do you have just... Ryder, isn't it? Kerry Tvessa, freelance vidmaker. This is Hakim, my producer. I could use your help.
What are you looking for?
Director Tans asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative. Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
It takes integrity to record the truth and nothing but.
Well, I do my best. And you could help me out. The heart of my documentary will be an interview series. I was hoping you'd take part. I want the dirt and blood of our story, not the convenient fairy tale Tan's looking for. Interested?
Okay, interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
We still have to fix them. Everyone, leaders included, needs to pitch in. Let's be honest about these challenges and how we're going to face them.
Nice. Won't make you popular with the leaders, but it's good to hear. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. You were great. I'll get to work editing.
Cool. Okay, so that's an ongoing one. I don't think those are actually gonna be here, so... I'm gonna go here to talk to her.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved. Species are at odds as talks break down over a unified curriculum for initiative kids. The Asari say they'll wait it out until demands are met. This is HNS.
was just texting one of my friends who said he saw this meme that I posted and how to take it literally because that is what people do. And I'm just like, ugh. It was funny, okay? No one should lace anyone. That is actually fucked up, but it was a funny joke, okay? I can think something is funny. Oh, it's this lady we have to talk to. Lady, stop walking. Stop walking. Ugh.
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math homework.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Well, I can definitely do that, I think. I have to talk to you. Can I talk to you?
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Woohoo. Okay, so let's go this way.
It's you, Pathfinder. I have a word or two for you.
Is there a problem?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem. We're all paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place. Now she's dead, and we'll all soon follow.
Hey, my dad died for this dream. He was trying to fix things for all of us.
Some dream. He fixed us all right. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Fuck you, you bitch. Ugly ass hoe. Hope you go to hell. And I'll take you with me, bitch. Wish they let me hit her. I would have hit that bitch.
Welcome back, Ryder.
Dr. Aradana at the tech lab sent some equations for you to solve.
I'm ready.
Transferring them now. Have fun. Hey, what the... Sam?
Limitless code detected. Please stand by.
Sam?
Attempting to countermand Limitless code. Please stand by.
Is there anything I can do? Sam? Is that another malfunction, or... Sam? You trying to show me something? Wait, wrong order. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it. Sam, talk to me.
Hello, Pathfinder. Please initialize the console to restore normal operations.
Sam, what happened?
The equations contained a Trojan horse program, a virus, specifically targeted to sever our connection and render me helpless. Reconnecting would be impossible.
You'd need a crack AI programmer to create a virus like that.
Yes. Only my unique adaptions prevented permanent damage.
Unlock the door. Let's head to the tech lab and see what Dr. Aradana has to say.
I'm gonna punch her in her fucking face. You can't really punch her, but if I could, I would punch her. I would punch a whole bunch of people. Starting with you, hoe. The fuck you staring at me for? Like you gotta do something. Wanna do something, we're gonna do it, alright? Fuck out of here.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythia system has discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling a vault. Though not much yet is known about the underground structure, it's believed to be remnant in origin. Noted Asari scientist, Helisaria Basale.
What we activated in the vault drastically improved the atmosphere on Eos.
This is HNS.
This is Kett DNA? Are you sure the scan isn't contaminated?
I'm certain, Professor.
But then... Sam, we need more data on life in the cluster, whatever you can find.
Welcome, Pathfinder. Did Sam solve the equations I sent?
Solve them? They almost brought down Sam Node.
The equations contained a virus designed to target artificial intelligence.
You think I'd... Never. I abhor violence against any life, organic or synthetic.
Then how did the virus find its way into your equations?
Perhaps my files were altered or replaced. But why?
I've seen a lot of down with AI sentiment lately. Graffiti, complaints to 10. Perhaps someone took the next step.
Why would anyone hate artificial intelligence?
Synthetic life has different needs and motivations. It can be mysterious and powerful. Many fear what is not understood.
Everything's uncertain. Maybe they just want to feel safer.
Attacking Sam is bold, though. I wonder if there have been similar incidents.
The AI kiosk was busted this morning.
I can look around.
Pathfinder Rider, if you will.
Detecting Pathfinder Rider.
Hi there. Excuse the educational stuff. I hacked Athena as a sock puppet. So, our virus set you free. Hope you're doing better without that AI jammed in your head.
You sent that virus to... free me? From Sam?
Not just me. Our movement. We couldn't let you suffer with that thing in your brain.
Pathfinder, it's possible they don't realize their virus failed. Pretending that it worked might win their trust.
Hello? Ryder?
The disconnect was... very sudden. I'm grateful. Just woozy.
It'll pass. See, this is what our movement's all about stopping. Knight says human AI merger is a threat to all life. She'd know, trust me. Oh, Knight's our founder. The virus wouldn't exist without her.
So where are you running this puppet show from?
Our sanctuary. I'll ask Knight if he can come visit.
Great, thanks.
Can't promise anything, but watch your email. Bye.
A whole movement of AI-hating hackers with a leader called Knight.
She and her followers seem to have experience with human-AI partnership.
If they attacked you, they're capable of anything. I'll check my email. We need to find them.
In the morning war?
Okay, so that's on hold. So let's see this.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
A Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial and he was found guilty.
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder. Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Secure message from intelligence. Sweep all Omni tools for enemy viruses.
The Nexus versus colonist Nilken, evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilkin. We're taking it back.
No, I'm not letting your ego get us killed, even if I have to...
No, get him off me! Get him off me!
I mean, that does sound bad, but that also doesn't mean that he threatened him. I mean, it didn't finish. That's just like assuming shit.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilkin murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the Chief. He looked right at Nilkin and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
Did you see any Ket in the vicinity?
Nilkin said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Okay, hold on, everyone.
Did Nilkin seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilkin in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
If they'd fought and Nilkin threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The Chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
I appreciate the information.
Of course. It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tian wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry about that. I actually got hungry because I didn't eat since way earlier, and I always kind of like grab something to eat on my channel. That's what we do. So let's go and talk to Tan.
Hello, Director Tan is expecting you.
Last time I was here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tan.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey Ryder, Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
Let's hold off on the celebration. We haven't found home yet.
Oh, there's no need for modesty. Success affords leverage over those who doubted you.
And you're my best friend.
A patron. One who shares your vision of a prosperous future.
I suppose we agree on that much.
I knew that given a chance, your talents would emerge. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises. And a great one hangs it on the wall. Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
It wouldn't have been possible without my crew. They're a talented bunch.
But you're their beacon.
Careful. He'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
Ah, my staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tan?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder's support.
Though I worry about your decision on Eos, Ryder. A military outpost won't help feed the Nexus, not the way scientists might have.
But it will protect us from a growing list of threats.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Kett are scouring the cluster for remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with Ark still missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them. Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
Thank you, Director. I'll get on it.
May you light the torch that finds the path. Pathfinder. Ugh.
Right.
Ryder, this is Harry, back on the Ark.
Go ahead.
We may have found a way to talk to your brother, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Medbay.
Will do.
A reminder, you have AVP outstanding.
Right. Have to talk to Addison's assistant about viability perks. Sounds useful.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour. Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status. Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
Hey everyone, I am sorry about that. I was just eating, but I had my mic off because it would be annoying to hear, right? Let's look at the planetary halo. Okay, so far EOS is doing good.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
That's cool. Let's see. Scara.
Whole mood of the Nexus has changed since EOS. You really can feel it. New outpost, a Pathfinder's help, people waking up. It's a fresh start.
Can't relax yet. The initiative still has a lot of promises to keep.
And that's on us. But it's damn good to know we're on the right track.
I don't feel like reading all of this. I'm just sitting okay on it.
You've had a year to think about it.
It's the Scourge, Director.
Ryder, you're off to a promising start. I meant what I said. You are a symbol now of hope that things will get better. Though I worry about this terraforming network. What do we really know about it?
It's like nothing we've ever seen. It's clear somebody had big plans for this cluster.
But who?
Not sure yet, but at least we're on the trail.
Did you have some other business?
I'm looking into the Nilken Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to EOS and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
I think we already have. Though physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The more certain we can be, the better.
Alright, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. I see great things in our future.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back and do that. I know that I have other things here, but I kind of don't like jumping to different missions constantly because for Mass Effect, it's like you do one part of the mission, there's always gonna be other parts, so I'd rather just... If I have to travel back and forth like a million times, I'm just gonna end up doing that. So now we're gonna go to travel to EOS. This is good. Priority ops. Okay, no. Nexus.
An expedition to Eos in the Pythia system has discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling a vault. Though not much yet is known about the underground structure, it's believed to be remnant in origin. Noted Asari scientist, Helisaria Basale.
What we activated in the vault drastically improved the atmosphere on Eos.
This is HNS.
I'm not going the right way. Probably not. How do we get back to my ship? Damn it. Wait, who are you?
Just when I've balanced the air mix, another Yahoo has to come wandering through. Aren't you the Pathfinder? Dr. Camden, head of hydroponic sciences. Mind the seedlings.
Are you always this rude to people walking in?
Only when a mistake could kill everyone on the Nexus.
What do you mean?
Hydroponics is our air, food, and water. A frail green line between us and oblivion. We almost lost it all during the mutiny. Now it's my responsibility.
I know what surprise, responsibility can be like.
So I hear. Perhaps we could share our burdens. I need samples of Andromeda's plant life. Our own specimens should acclimatize to them. Bring me any plants you find. You'll have a bounty in return, and my thanks.
Sure. How is it that I can never find this place? Ugh. Do I get back? Okay, down here. Is this random people? Yep. This random people. Returning to the Tempest. I'm gonna see about talking to everyone.
Glad you stopped by. You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our Vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
You mentioned something about helping design the Tempest?
Test pilot, mostly. Plunging through the Nemean Abyss was almost a preparation for the Scourge. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half-finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right, after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Did you hear anything about the arc back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Cheer up, Callow. We'll always have Director Tan.
That snide little bureaucrat? All the more reason to find the others. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often. As if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist. As if this sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
It's good to have different voices on my team. I like that.
Excellent. Oh, speaking of the team, I should update the folks back in the Nexus with the latest reports. We'll talk later.
A secure out... So we have a stowaway.
You mean Peebee?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands. They put every credit they earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality. Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files, and my brain by species.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new. Liam's we can't lose attitude is commendable. But I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique. He'd rather bury himself in the nomads than tackle emotions head-on.
Suvi okay?
Suvi's strong sense of faith keeps her grounded. I'm not spiritual, but there's a beauty in how her mind rationalizes religion and science.
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor. She expected to follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you. Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused. Or hurt.
Well, who gives a fuck?
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Is Phoebe alright?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Not in the hallway.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people. That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative. Could you look out for him, Ryder?
Don't worry, Lexi. I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you. And maybe don't mention I asked?
Thanks for the insight. How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory. Things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel. From when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this. So how did an Asari doctor end up on the human Ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in Assistant Director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's had it out for cash ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
What's it like to have Kesh as a granddaughter?
Kesh is my Rushan, child of my blood. Raised her myself. Damn proud of her too. She did good, even with me for a granddad.
She's honest. Definitely blunt.
She had to take after me in some ways, I guess.
Did Lexi brief you on Sam and squad connectivity yet?
Yeah. You want to hook that thing up to my comms, sure, but that's where it stops. Putting an AI in your head, giving it access to everything like that, it's begging for trouble.
Sam is part of what makes someone a Pathfinder. You're just going to have to deal with that.
So long as it's not in my head and it ain't messing with my body.
I'd like to know more about you.
Fire away.
How did you and Vetra meet?
That's right. Your father brought you into the project pretty late, didn't he? Must have been a pretty steep learning curve since they thawed you out.
You could say that.
You make do with what you get. Anyway, I met Vetra back when we were building the Nexus. She swiped supplies I was trying to get for Kesh right under my nose. I tried to intimidate her into turning them over to me, and let me tell you, that Turian takes shit from no one.
She really has a way of getting things done.
She sure does. But here's the best part. She waited until I saw her again in Kesh's office, no less, to tell me she'd been working for Kesh all along. They're both still laughing at me over that.
Tell me more about the Krogan colony.
My clan's there. We also got some scouts looking for any unclaimed territory to grab up. Got a decent setup going, self-sustainable, the works. Even some farming.
Farming? Krogan farm?
Food's food. Just because we can eat anything doesn't mean we gotta settle for scraps. I'm pretty fond of Korkro roots myself. Takes a while to chew through those.
So, about all this combat experience you have, I'd love some details.
Ha! The list will be shorter if you ask me what experience I don't have. I've been doing this for a long time now, centuries, shit, well over 1,000 years. Don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest.
Skill?
You need luck to be a merc. Skill, sure, but a whole lot of luck. And a really hard head.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pyjak scratch its butt?
Anything about the Kett? Or combat in general?
Well, common Kett are pretty straightforward. Hit them hard enough, they die like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Kett.
Wraiths are sneaky little shits, like to ghost up behind you when you least expect it. Just listen for them. They tend to give themselves away right before coming at you. Break through their headplates, then a headshot should do the trick.
Tell me more about fighting Kett.
Destined are annoying, quick. Got some crazy mist that hides them from view, their friends too. Take a Destined down, and that mist goes away. Makes them a prime target, if you ask me. Perfect for grenade practice.
Tell me more about fighting Kett.
There's just something wrong about the Kett. The absolute single-mindedness.
Why did the Krogan leave the Nexus?
The Nexus got us Krogan to stop the mutiny. In return, we were supposed to get a say in station business. Spender, Addison's assistant, lied about the deal, and Tan came down hard. Too hard. So we left. Kesh is alone on that station now.
Do you think Kesh can handle station politics?
Kesh can handle anything. Thing is, Spender's a liar and a coward. He was part of the mutiny, I know he was. A lot of people got hurt because of him, on both sides.
So what's my part in this?
Things need to get sorted out, and my clan needs to get back on station, without Spender messing things up. Way I see it, you're probably the best one for that job.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah?
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
This console reports on the militia's current Strike Team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrion Candres for authorization to participate.
Report from the Nexus. Population's growing as people wake up. Lots of hopefuls waiting for a home.
Bradley will have all the help he can take.
They'll be starting crops soon. Can't tell if they have enough water, or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids. But I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here, and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helios.
It'd be good to bring something beautiful across galaxies.
Everyone in the initiative has their something beautiful. I didn't for a while. After I left the Asari Commandos, well, I didn't leave. My mentor, Nasira, said I should go.
Why?
The initiative would suit you better, was all she said. Being a huntress suited me fine, but she insisted.
It sounds like she cared more about what you needed than about what you wanted.
I didn't need to be rejected. Still, that's familiar. When your biotics are honed into Huntress-grade weapons, people can be weird about it. The initiative seemed better. Just didn't see how I'd fit into their brave new galaxy. I never fit anywhere before. Then I met some jerk named Ryder. Talked about traveling to Andromeda like he was teaching you how to see it.
He gave you a dream to work toward. He was good at that.
Who doesn't want to belong? Especially somewhere like the Initiative. So I gave the Initiative my all. Kept thinking of the niche I wanted. My rose garden. I thought I knew what I was
I have a
going to be.
rose garden. I
This
love
is about
roses.
not taking over as Pathfinder?
Didn't think it would still sting. Nasira, your father, even my parents. They leave, I'm left without answers. Nowhere to stand.
It sucks, but it happened. We need your mind on the mission.
Always is. But I'm human too. Need time to find a way through. And if that remnant tech pays off, maybe someday I'll have roses too.
Messing with that vault feels like early brain surgery. Just poking.
Long time no chat. What's up?
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly?
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call, capital R, ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Hasn't everyone?
Well, then you know. It's super tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction? Or maybe starvation? Imagining which would be worse? But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, Vetra and Suvi are my girls. Get along well, lots of mutual respect. PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting. And Drax's my kind of guy. brash, takes no shit. As far as your Hyperion peeps go, the Doc's kinda nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
By the book keeps us alive.
Hey, variety's the spice of life, right? Different strokes makes for healthy debate.
What about Kello?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
He flies the ship.
we're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
You again. Want to hear more about my childhood log cabin?
You really won't tell me what you're working on?
That's right. Next question.
What was it like for you on the Nexus?
Well, I wasn't supposed to be woken up yet. A resourceful accomplice finagled my early thaw. So I kinda lived off the grid. Snuck around, bullshitted my way onto excursions off station. After I found my first remnant ruin, I started, borrowing shuttles. After that, I didn't spend much time on the Nexus. I even missed most of the revolt.
What drew you to the Remnant?
Are you kidding? It's evidence of a sophisticated species no one knows anything about. It doesn't get more intriguing than that. There's so much to discover. I want to be the first to figure them out. And the tech, it's on a different scale. If we can appropriate it, who knows what advances we'll make.
So, how do you like the team?
Interesting bunch. I get a good feeling from Vetra. Not your typical military-minded Turian. Liam seems a lively one. I expect he'll surprise me. Drek is, well, old. Wonder if he can still learn new tricks.
What about...
Gil's max of complication. Might take some unraveling. Callow and Suvi seem busy. I hope they aren't all work, work, work. Who's left?
Well, there's...
Oh, right, Cora. What's her deal? Is she as prim and proper as she comes across?
She's exactly what she should be. Capable, reliable. She's a valuable part of my team.
Sure, sure. That comes across too.
There's also Lexi, our doctor. She's an Asari.
Oh, I'll get around to her. All in all, seems like a decent bunch.
You're off the hook, PB. Good luck with your project.
Thanks. Don't be a stranger.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
Someone had to know. Maybe they just didn't tell us.
Did your father?
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, but it is. Most things are simple once you know the trick to them.
How did you hear of the Andromeda Initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? thing about conning people, you always know something they don't. And that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Yes, I'm going to talk to everybody on our crew. There's Liam. Deep butt.
Prodromos. Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
Just stopping by for... not much. Just... showing some interest?
Bad opening, Pathfinder. You're better than that.
Yes, well... screw it. I'm owning it.
See, I knew it. Alright, interest returned. Let's bank that for another day.
You barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
Tell me about your family.
I missed the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin, both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Life with my family was not typical on a number of fronts.
You may do though, right? Family has to. I know mine did. I said goodbye to my mom and dad, and got on a ship to Andromeda.
You were a cop, then crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
You found your place. Not everyone gets that.
I knew it. Glad for it every day. And that led me here.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
And I think that's everybody.
Oh, how'd you get under there?
Suvi, were you talking to your notebook?
Oh, I wasn't I? I do that sometimes.
Just gonna go here to see what's here, if there's any scans available for items.
This is about as far as the Nexus surveyors could get before, well...
Let's see what's waiting here. Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Pythias system, home of Eos, and Prodromos.
kind of like the cat look. Now.
The scent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm. Need to get the Normandy. I mean, not, yeah. Not the Normandy, the Nomad. If I can find it. Wait.
Mayor Bradley.
Pathfinder, good to see you. We're busy as anything, thanks to you. Bit dusty, but we can adapt. It's worth it when it's your own.
Let's not drive people too hard. Rough enough getting this far.
Nothing you see here came from cracking a whip. Everyone is just ready. You go do what you need to on the Nexus. Follow that dot. There will be more to do on EOS later. Some key positions: Connor Supply, Ramirez Medical, Abrams Science, Falks Engineering. With them and my Major Domo, we won't end up like Site 1 and 2.
The first two outposts didn't have a chance. It was clear to everyone on the ground.
I saw the brief. I'm making sure every one of our people is eyes wide. You changed this planet, but that doesn't make it easy. We'll use the efforts of those who went before. Good people, every last one. I'd have been honored to fail with any of them.
Looking back isn't a good use of time. We have to keep building.
Keep is generous. We have to start. Real building, not just survival. Oh, and Pathfinder, this is for you. It's our flag. Hang it where the Nexus can see. It's touched the soil of our first outpost in Andromeda. Make it real.
Sam, another memory trigger?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Okay, now where is... There gotta be something here. Well, there we go.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Simple way to know you did good. More people walking than buried.
A hard world, but you can get used to anything if you try.
Tough to get used to life on this rock. Too long staring at it from the Nexus and knowing we'd failed.
What does it look like? I want a bicycle.
Approaching Site 2. Resilience.
It was sold as the one we get. Didn't even finish unpacking.
Too busy trying to survive the kit.
Looks like a war zone. According to survivors, the kit attacked from all sides. It was a massacre.
So wait, you're Kesh's father?
Grandfather,
This is where Chief Reynolds died.
Sandstorms would have buried the body long ago. I suggest scanning.
Well, hello, Bugs.
Pathfinder, there is an armor piece buried deep. A leg bracer. Scan indicates tissue and bone fragments clinging to it. DNA identified as Chief Reynolds. Indications suggest his body was torn to pieces.
So the Chief became Karkin food.
Karkin's gotta eat.
The remaining armor will be scattered, or perhaps brought to a nest. The chest piece and his Omni tool may explain his death.
Then we keep searching and scanning.
Another armor piece. Chief Reynolds' helmet.
The search continues.
I'm not real romantic about road hazards. Interesting rocks are just as bad for the Nomad.
Water and weather. Nothing tougher in the long run.
Dude, you like scared me. Let's go back to my Nomad. Let's drive further.
How'd you meet Cash?
A few years ago, I was running with a mercenary band, mostly smuggling work. Nova Force. Ambitious name for a small-time crew. On one of the jobs, I got caught by Kesh. Made a deal. I got her some experimental prototypes out of Terminus. She didn't turn me in. It became a thing. She was always good for jobs. Paid well, and upfront. Credits helped me go independent. But then I got suspicious. All the things she was asking me to get. So I asked. That's when I heard about the initiative.
She brought you on.
Oh yeah. I bought the pitch, like everyone else.
Pathfinder. The scanners picked up Chief Reynolds' chest piece, confirming single shot. Unable to determine weapon type, but entry point was at the back. Exit blast through the chest.
By all accounts, Nilken was in front of the Chief when he fired. So it wasn't his shot that killed him.
The Chief's Omni tool might shed some light. Pathfinder. This area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
That's weird. This says I can. Whatever.
Wow. Remnant took over. Let's check it out.
Picking up additional armor scraps. I believe it's a trail leading to a cave nearby.
Could be where the nest is located. It's a Karkin nest, all right. Fan out. Cut it through!
There we go.
Confirming initiative equipment, including Omni tool assigned to Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. If you power it up, I can exhume its data. Accessing data. The Chief was scanning at the time of death. The scan picked up 2 shots. 1, a standard initiative rifle report, which missed. The other from behind, a Ket pulse weapon.
That's it. Nilken didn't shoot Reynolds.
Seems clear to me. Good work.
Pathfinder, there is also an audio recording.
Go ahead and play it.
No! Where's Nilken?
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock.
Son of a bitch.
Confirming. Voice identified as suspect, Nilken. So he did not kill the chief.
But he meant to. Need another chat with the man.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Okay, since we have to go back, I'm going to extract us to our ship.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atwell. All clear. Welcome back.
I'm gonna jump here to get some stuff, you know, the deposits and everything that we can find.
So this is where the human Ark first entered Helios.
Heck of a wake-up call.
Okay, no anomaly, whatever fucking word. Okay, let's go back here. I wish it would let me skip this part, honestly. I don't feel like watching it every time it has to land.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to Krogan.
Okay, let's slow down the thing.
Species are at odds as talks break down over a unified curriculum for initiative kids. The Asari say they'll wait it out until demands are met. This is HNS.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, baby. You okay?
I'm sorry, Lana. They're just trying to boost
Hey,
morale.
there's puke on the floor. I'm gonna get sick. You're sick. Locking a man up with germs. If I die, I'm gonna sue your asses.
Keep blowing that hot air, pal. They'll dry out faster.
A reminder to all personnel, overtime hours remain in effect. Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating. Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
I hear you went down to EOS. Did you find anything to help my case?
You're a liar. The Chief's Omni tool recorded you over the body, admitting to killing him.
What? Wait, that's not... What are you trying to pull?
Sam, playback.
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock. Well, shit. Guess my fate is sealed.
Except that your shot missed. A cat blast to the back killed Reynolds.
Are you serious? I'm innocent? What a stroke of luck. The conviction will have to be overturned. The sentence thrown out.
I'm going to Tan, and I might have a different opinion. You did try to cover it all up.
Look, I'm sorry I lied, but if my shot missed, I'm innocent. Plain and simple.
We'll see about that.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone, all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
Good to see you.
As sleepers wake from stasis, the initiative urgently requires blood.
Yes, this is a secure place now. Everything we achieve will be seen here.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
They are... Something I can help you with?
Director, I checked out that murder. Nilkin didn't do it, but there's proof that he meant to.
This is unfortunate. We're trying to give the people a sense of stability, leadership they think they can count on. And we're setting precedent for justice here in Andromeda. Now this, a convicted murderer who didn't commit the murder.
These things are almost never black and white.
I know. If we suppress the evidence and uphold the conviction, we're banishing a man for a crime he technically didn't commit. If we throw the conviction out, we're freeing a man who tried to take matters into his own hands, then covered it up. Your investigation complicated this. You should take responsibility for the outcome. Do we still exile him for murder?
He intended to kill the chief. He pulled the trigger, believed he'd done it. Banish him.
Agreed. Sometimes we must rule with our hearts. I hope my conscience will be as clear as yours seems to be. Well, at least we'll have this sordid business behind us.
Well, old man, getting there. Put in a
has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on Habitat 7 in the Erickson system. Ryder's daughter has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest and the ongoing search for a home in Andromeda. This is HNS.
Once we gather a few more colonists, we'll be taking you over to the Nexus. You'll need to clear in the quest.
This is not good.
I'll make it right down.
Damned exiles.
I promise.
Hit an energy cloud. They're calling it a scourge.
Boy, Pathfinder. Today has not been a good day.
Why's that?
A large shipment of medical supplies intended for Prodromus was intercepted by those damned exiles. Scouts confirmed they've divvied the supplies up among their own outposts.
I'll see what I can do about reclaiming them.
That would be great. Thanks. Maybe when you come across them assholes, you can rectify all this.
Pathfinder, I'm Nigel McCoy. Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Thank you. It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
His sacrifice won't be forgotten.
Agreed. Everything I do will be for him. I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Of course.
In his digital journal, he mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Harry, what's happening with Scott?
Well, we got him out of the pod. I don't want to get your hopes up, but Sam managed to, find him, you might say.
I don't follow.
Well, he's still in a coma, but he also has an implant like yours, and Sam managed to access it. He's made contact.
That's incredible. He's okay?
Vitals are steady, but I'm letting Sam take the lead on this one.
Though in a coma, Scott's mental processes remain intact.
So is he okay?
You can ask him yourself. A moment while I establish a link with his implant. Proceed.
Scott? Can you hear me?
Is that you, sis? I don't understand. What's happening?
There was a problem with your stasis pod. You're in a coma on the Hyperion. Do you understand?
Wow, really? How are we talking?
Sam linked into your implant, but they say you're stable. You're safe and sound in the medbay.
Guess I'll take your word for it. I can't feel anything, but I still hear you. Is Dad okay?
I'm not sure how to say this, but he's dead, Scott.
What?
There was an accident.
What do you... accident? How? I mean, Dad...
I know. It was all very sudden. Nothing anyone could do.
I don't believe it.
I'm sure he'd want to be here now.
Did we at least find home? Dad kept talking about how amazing it would be.
There's been some complications. The Golden Worlds didn't exactly deliver.
I don't understand. I thought...
Scott?
This is all wrong. This is a nightmare.
Scott, it's okay. I didn't mean to.
His pulse rate is increasing rapidly.
I don't feel well.
That's enough for now. He needs to rest.
Scott.
Construction and repairs continue on various parts of the Nexus. Authorities have no word on completion and remind visitors to avoid affected areas. This is HNS.
Here we are, one young Pyjak. Ready to see Andromeda, huh? Sam, can you send a note to Kesh? Make sure our new friend gets delivered to the Tempest?
Acknowledged.
Wonder if I can get this part of local traders.
This is amazing. I can't believe
I'm glad we did. Sometimes I wonder what I was thinking.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to Krogan.
Construction and repairs continue on various parts.
Well, you're not getting it. Stop making frivolous requests.
it's not a frivolous request.
Why would I leave?
History is made after the initiative is announced.
our leaders! Wake the sleepers! Hey, what's going on?
That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost. But because you wanted military personnel, people tagged as scientific support have to wait. Again.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
We only had resources for one outpost, so I focused on the skills we needed most.
Well, your pick has my grandchildren trapped in that pod.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today. I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people. We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will. Okay, I'll talk to the leadership about what we can do.
14 months of promises. It's time for some results.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her.
Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously. Our Nexus are alive!
Any word?
So how things go?
The materials you found were perfect. If you got more, we'll take it all.
I need to keep some on reserve for engineering repairs, but I can have another batch sent your way for sure.
Convicted murderer Nilken Rensis exiled for his role in the killing of Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. This is HNS. A reminder to all personnel, overtime hours remain in effect. Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
I'll talk to our informants.
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
What situations should they handle?
Protecting civilian outposts holding key positions, or just distracting the kit. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
Weekly injury.
Ryder, we exiled the prisoner Nilken. Tough decision based on what you uncovered on Eos. His wife, Mariette, insisted on going with him.
It's hard to let go of someone you love.
So it seems. It'll be a tough life out there for her. For them.
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks. Dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
We settled Eos. There's no space down there for a few extra...
It's not that simple, Ryder. Everything Eos produces right now is accounted for.
And what would those scientists do at a military outpost?
What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
These people aren't the enemy. We didn't come all this way to rip families apart. We'll manage the resource squeeze somehow.
Your compassion is admirable, but...
Guess we're all tightening our belts.
You can run a stasis override command from operations. I hope the rest will be that easy.
Tracking enemy activity. Apex leaders notified. Security is investigating.
No, it isn't what we wanted, but what choice do we have?
Okay, sending the override command. The stasis pods should start unlocking.
You're really doing this? I was at the protest in hydroponics. I thought we'd just get more excuses. But we already lost a year waiting for our families. I'm glad it's time.
I know exactly what you're feeling. My family has suffered too.
Then you know why this matters. My mom was scared something would go wrong and she'd be awake in stasis all that time. She isn't... It doesn't work like that, but I just want her out, so I know.
Override complete. Stasis revival triggered on the Nexus. For Jasper K, Griffith G, Hilkvist A, Demerchi P, Kozlov S.
There! That's her!
Why are you still here? Go be the face your mom wakes up to.
I will. Thank you.
Given new resource allocation, personnel in stasis on the Hyperion may now be required to wait longer.
When it's time, you'll have a home to wake up to. I promise.
Pathfinder, AVP leveling continues as per your directions. And of course, the interface remains accessible for any future adjustments. Sweet protocol and process. Now we're living.
Why'd you join the initiative?
I was a teacher. A good life. I could see the positives and negatives right through to the end.
You did the math and it said come to Andromeda?
No. I just didn't like being able to see the end. Here, I don't have a clue what tomorrow will bring. Feels more like living.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone, all power grid adjustments.
Pathfinder.
How are we doing on the viability front?
Struggling. Need I remind you that viability isn't abstract? It's lives, our foothold. Get out there, Ryder. Pathfind. We're dying.
Director Addison.
Pathfinder.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is... Attention, civil disobedience... Authorities continue work to establish contact with our Milky Way descendants. As of now, beacons confirming arrival in Helios remain unanswered. This is HNS.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened. Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
What do you want?
Whatever's going on, it's not fair to take it out on me.
Apologies, you're right. This is not your fault.
He was pretty abusive towards you. Is that normal?
Yes, he's horrible. Working with him is a total nightmare. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea. But if Kesh hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum when no one's watching.
You'd think your boss would have the power to do something.
She hates Spender, but there's only one of her, and she can't always be around to deal with him. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it. Kesh can tell you more.
invite you to visit our merchants in the Nexus Commons area.
For strawberries. What a mess. It could be worse.
A worker was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus Hull. The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS. Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
They're just trying to boost our morale.
As sleepers wake from stasis, the initiative requires blood.
How many times have I told you this story?
300 and... Dell told me you saw her arguing with Spender. Pyjack's doing his best to throttle my department.
How's he getting away with that?
Spender doesn't know the first thing about engineering, but he knows how to play people. More importantly, he still talks to the Exiles. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it without your help.
This needs to be investigated.
I'm glad someone thinks so. Talk to Kandros. He likely has security footage, some kind of evidence. But you'll have to convince him to authorize release.
Nothing more for now.
Good luck out there. Pathfinder, thanks for helping Raj and Zara find out.
Apex is doing a sweep.
Well, those families are out of stasis. I know because we're cutting rations for Apex.
My decision's made, Kandros.
And now everyone thinks protesting is how we get stuff done. Excuse me. Glad to see you finally. I hear you've been busy out there.
That's one word for it.
If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
I was told I should talk to you about the mutiny.
I wasn't on the Nexus when it happened. I started reading up on it, but you know how things get around here.
Do you know where Spender was during that time?
Why Spender? Wait, you think he might have had something to do with the mutiny?
Maybe. Just trying to sort things out.
You know, the logs I did look through showed a few discrepancies. I meant to dig deeper. If you're investigating, how about I give you access to the security vid archives?
Thank you.
Anything else?
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Weekly injury report. Multiple casualties under heavy engagement.
Huh. This file won't play. Sam, can you boost the quality?
Processing. Playback initiated.
Wait. Is he handing something over to one of the mutineers?
Take this. It'll help you find the anomaly. Don't...
I am sorry, Pathfinder. This backup file is corrupted. The audio tracks are heavily degraded. Someone may have deleted the original, and this version was restored during a system-wide reset.
Sounds like a cover-up to me.
I concur. While I cannot restore any more audio, the location appears to be Kadara.
How do you figure?
In common parlance, lip reading. I do not recognize the location from any current data. It appears mountainous and populated. We will need to find the planet before I can confirm. I will contact you via my node.
Let's go confront Spender.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Pathfinder, do you have just a minute?
The mutiny one is Ryder, is it? William Spender. Apologies if we met before. I meet a lot of people running Colonial Affairs.
Running Colonial Affairs? I thought you were the assistant director.
That's right. Assistant to Addison. So we know who does all the real work.
From what I've heard, your hands are pretty dirty. I saw the footage. You were handing something off.
What footage? From Gavorkum? Routine business meeting. Whoever you're talking to clearly has an axe to grind. And frankly, a Pathfinder shouldn't be wasting time on a witch hunt. You'd be wise to let this be.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
Hi. The documentary's going great. Your comments really got people talking. By the way, Tan called us in for a talk about staying on message.
Is everything okay?
Oh, fine. And much less interesting than what you've been up to. Building a military outpost so early has been pretty controversial. Kandros approves, but others say it paints the initiative as a conqueror.
I hope the Keds see a military presence, and know we're not taking their attacks lying down.
Our leaders are hoping that too. Facing those risks must be stressful. How do you relax between missions?
My crew and I take downtime together. We're a team.
This is history too, these little moments between. Shots of this remnant tech, some narration. That completes an episode. Thanks for stopping. But footage of that remnant vault is sealed. Can we get the model?
Convicted murderer Nilken Rensis exiled for his role in the killing of Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. This is HNS.
I can't wait to be assigned to an outpost. This place is amazing.
It's such a mess. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
An expedition to Eos, the Pythia system,
All systems green. Pythia system, home of Eos and Prodromos.
Everything around here is so damn shiny.
The ship's brand new. Be nice to keep her that way a little longer. Fewer germs, too.
Whoops. Looks like our Pyjak friend got out of his cage. He'll be fine. Won't he? The exercise will probably do him good.
Hi there.
What did you do while you were part of the Asari military?
4 years in a commando unit called Talane's Daughters. Part of the Council's cross-species military integration initiative. Your time defending Silva's expedition was probably more important. But we did good work. Peacekeeping is a full-time job, even in Asari space.
What was your commando unit like?
Janae and I were the youngsters. Tethys was our old lady sniper. Kalia patched us up, and Valenza prayed between firefights. Our CO, Nasira, led us all over the Athena Nebula and beyond. A Huntress's work is never done.
Every civilization needs its defenders.
And the defenders usually match their civilization. Like Asari Huntresses being adaptable as hell. Makes you wonder what our militia will look like in 100 years.
You were in the Alliance before you became a Huntress, right? What made you join up?
My biotics. I was still living on my parents' cargo freighter when they manifested. Untrained biotic power on a starship means accidents. But we couldn't afford a tutor. The Alliance had implants, the training, everything. Old history now. Your turn. Remind me why you came to Andromeda.
The Prothean digs woke us up to how much we don't know, and to what humanity's next leap might be. Then Dad's career collapsed. His AI research made him too toxic.
I heard. Must have changed everything for your family.
I wanted to find worlds and secrets no one had ever seen, and Scott was itching for adventure. So, Andromeda.
None of you writers ever think small, do you?
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
The Lucinia? Checking every comm that's coming in. Nothing concrete yet.
After 4 years with Asari Commandos, he must have some great war stories.
Nasira assassinated a Krogan warlord with a pack of playing cards once.
A pack of cards?
Choking hazard, apparently.
Wow. See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
I've seen a lot of shit in my life, but that vault certainly was a first. Things are gonna be interesting with you around, kid.
Doesn't matter what life throws at me. It's what I make of it, right?
You keep that going, you just might live as long as I have. Minus 0 at the end.
Now that we've been digging, it's clear you were right about Spender.
Guy like that'll do anything to get ahead. Just wonder how far he went.
We can talk more later.
Sure.